I didn't build speakers. I built a witness protection program for speakers. They changed their identity, got new jobs, and now they're living in plain sight, disguised as Decor. You won't find any speaker clues, just a pair of vases doing undercover work. But inside, each one hides a full-range driver and a passive radiator, ready to fill the room with music, without looking like it. I built these speakers with 3 goals in mind. First, they need to sound good as background music. We're not building an audiophile system here, just something to relax after work, chill and listen to some fun tunes. Second, they had to blend in. They need to look like Decor, not high-tech gear. Third, they had to be fun to build, combining concrete, 3D printing, and some creative engineering. So, what makes these things actually work? Underneath, there's a full-range driver. Goes into this cone, disperses the sound all out. And around back, there's a passive radiator that helps bring out the low end. If you place these near a wall, the passive radiator gives the bass a nice boost. Welcome back to Timber West Design, where we talk timber, shade structures, and outdoor living. Here are the supplies you're going to need for this project. Some Cementol cement mix, the scale to weigh, 4:1 Cementol water. You need some way to mix it. I love this drill mixer. This does quite well. You'll need a mold. 3D print files will be on my website for that. Once it's printed, you're going to need some primer, some spot putty, and some sandpaper. And then you'll need if you want to use the flex stone, you need a base coat or base color like this. Then you'd use the flex stone material on top of it. And then of course you need the drivers, the components for the speakers. This is the design I came up with. This shape, it's got a little bit of an area on top for a vase. This is the cross section. Let's cut it in half here. So you're seeing the volume for the speaker here, kind of a fake vase. And then you got the sound deflector down here. And then the mold will look like this. So we've got 2 for the outside, actually 3, this top piece. And we've got the inside section here and the bottom. The back has a different bottom and a different section right here. Other than that, the rest of the parts are the same for the mold. And I think we're ready to send this to the printer. It's always exciting for your idea to go to a digital format and then to the 3D printer into a physical format and then to concrete where you can actually touch and feel and hold it. The 3D printer has been hard at work. Parts are pretty much ready to go. I have one little step to do. So I have 2 parts that need a threaded insert. So the way we do this is you take a brass knurled on the outside, threaded on the inside. I take a modified tip soldering iron and I just heat it up and melt it in, sink it in place like that. Just like that, simple, easy. Do that on this one. It's a pretty cool little technique when you need something threaded and you can't put a nut behind it. There we go. Okay, our next step is mold release. So I like to do mold release in a box, like kind of contain the spray. I use this canola oil spray. What we're gonna do is just put a little film on there, then I take my foam brush and I just kind of touch it up, make sure everything's covered. Just a nice thin film, nothing too crazy. We'll do that to all the parts and we'll start putting them together. So let's just finish snugging up all the bolts here. I think we're ready to go. So what we have here is the outer core and we have an inner core. I want a hollow wall section going through it. So I've got a screw here, got this to kind of help register this to keep it in place. And it's time to mix some concrete. So here we go. Time to fill this up. This is kind of a thin mix, so it should spread pretty good in here. Let's see how we're doing. We're doing pretty good. So I'm gonna need to come down just a little bit to help spread it out. A little bit more down here. Okay, we're getting there. And then I have some extra for this little mold here. This is the base. So we want to fill this one up. There we go. Okay, so gonna maybe take the spatula and just surgically add a few little areas here so we get it nice and level. What I like to do is overfill it slightly, and after it starts setting up, I'll come in and then just tool it, trowel it, and get it nice and flat, right even with the mold. So that's why we're seeing a little bit overfill at this point, but we're looking really good here. So, all right, I think we're just about there. I'll let this set up. Probably takes about 15 minutes to just set up enough that I can start tooling this and cleaning this up. And also, kind of a little bit of a tap, just to kind of help disperse, maybe get a little bit of air out. Some people like to put a vibrating motor type of thing on here, but it's thin enough that we can get by with just some tapping and getting it where we need it to be. Perfect. Okay, I think we're ready. All about 3 hours we're going to pull this thing. I can't wait to see what it looks like. I want to thank this week's sponsor, Pale Blue Batteries. You know, I like nice high-end flashlights, and you know what powers my flashlights? Pale Blue rechargeable batteries. What I like about them is I can take a power bank on the go. There's a USB-C port right on the battery. I can plug it in, charge on the go. Pale Blue batteries, they're awesome. It's been about 3 hours. We're cured enough that we can start pulling this thing. So I'm gonna start undoing everything and let's get this thing pulled and see how it turns out. And I'm really, really anxious to see how this is gonna look. All the bolts are off. It's time to start taking pieces off. Well, that pulled off nicely. Let's get this inner core out. Ooh, nice and smooth on the inside. Liking it, liking it. Okay, and we're gonna pop the outside off. This has got really nice draft, so this just is coming off really easy. Let's see, we gotta pull this outer section off and the bottom. There we go. Perfect, love it. Okay, 3 more to go and we'll start bonding these together and make some cool speakers. All the parts are cured and ready for the next step. So what we're gonna do is I wanna glue the foam in here, sound dampening foam. We're gonna use this 3M contact cement, but before we do that, I wanna tape off the bonding surface because I don't wanna get this on there. It probably would be okay, but I just don't want to inhibit the cure for the other glue I'm gonna use for the edge. So what we'll do next is tape off this flat area right here and get to that point. So it's all masked off. The next step is to take the 3M77 adhesive. It's a contact cement. So we're gonna put a layer in here. I'm gonna spray the back side of the foam. You give it about a minute or so. You want the surface to dry. If it's just barely tacky, if it comes off wet on your finger, it's not ready to tack yet. So we'll do that to all the surfaces and then we'll start putting them in. This is really kind of stinky and messy, so I moved it to the spray booth to kind of keep the smell down and the overspray down. So these are ready to go. Light touch, they're slightly tacky, but nothing comes on the finger. So it's time to put them into the mold. So this is contact cement. Once it's in place, it's there. It's not moving. So you'll be very careful to place this in properly, push it in place. I left it long on purpose so I could just trim it off to size. So this is pretty much it. Just kind of put these pieces in like so. Make sure it's nice and pressed in. Got a little piece for the end. Okay, so now I'll trim this off after I've done the rest. Pull the flue tape off, get these ready to bond the 2 halves together. These little guys that are round are gonna be hard to clamp, so I made these little fixtures to hold them in place so they don't move around. And we'll put one of the bottoms in each. Now what I'm gonna do is take this Loctite adhesive, we're gonna put a bead around here, put the top on, do a light clamp, and then that's gonna sit for a day or 2. This has got a severe slope on the end and the clamp didn't want to stay on, so I kind of had to get creative and I had to clamp the clamp to kind of keep it in place, and I think that's actually gonna work quite well. So we're looking good. We'll see in a few days. It's been a couple of days. The adhesive is plenty cured, so it's time to take clamps off. So let's just do this. And this is looking pretty good. I'm super happy with this. So what I'm gonna do now is take a putty knife and just kind of scrape off the adhesive, sand or scrape, whatever it takes to get it smooth. Then I'm gonna sand the rest of this, get this ready for primer. It's pretty clean. Just a few little hits with some sandpaper and I think we're good and ready to prime. I built this little fixture that's going to go into the rod holes to kind of hold this surface off. So I can paint this and then I can paint this. So we're gonna go to the paint booth now and start doing some primer. So I just like to do a light-ish coat to start with. And then I'm going to come back after that flashes off, which this primer flashes pretty quick. Pretty much by the time I make one revolution, it will have flashed off. And then I'm going to go and just load it. Maybe 2 or 3 coats of pretty heavy. We'll see where we're at. So yeah, this is going to flash off. I'll give it maybe just a couple minutes maybe. And start loading 2 layers. Heavy layers, and then we'll go to spot putty. So let's mark the holes for the passive radiator and the driver. So we're just going to set it in here, take a marker, mark the holes, pop it out, and that is where we need to drill. So I've got my concrete drill bit. I'm just going to come in here and drill us some holes. So you just want to be gentle with this. You don't have to push too hard, but these bits go pretty cleanly through. Just didn't want to get too much dust in there. So I'm going to put a plastic expandable insert in here. I'll do this on all 4 spots here, and then on the bottom where I've got it marked here, and then we'll get to some spot putty. I like this Bondo glazing spot putty. I use a glove and just put some on my finger and just kind of spread it. Some of the areas that just need a little bit of attention. The textured paint I'm going to use covers quite a bit, so I just want to get the main areas here. I'm not going to get too nitpicky, but I'll just kind of go through all the areas, mainly where the parting lines of the molds are. Just get that cleaned up. We'll let this dry. I'll sand it with 150 grit sandpaper. We'll see how it looks. At that point, I'll decide if I do another coat of primer, or we'll get to the paint. So the primer is ready. I need to put a base coat down first. I'm going to paint the bottom, and then I'll flip it onto my jig that goes inside these holes to hold it upright without disturbing the bottom paint, and then do the rest of it. So we're just going to paint a light bottom. This doesn't take much to first layer it, let it flash off for a few minutes, come back, follow it with the second coat, and then we'll go to the upright version. Now I've got it on my paint fixture, so it's time to do the same thing on the top and the side. Just light layer it first. It's going to take 2 or 3 just light layers. We don't want any runs, just like so. So we'll do that and we'll come back in a minute. All right, this is the last coat of the base coat. As long as I don't see any primer, it's all uniform color, I'm good to go. So let's get the other vase going, and we'll see in a minute. So first coat on the first speaker enclosure. Light, just like we previously discussed, light first layer. This is gonna look really nice. I'm super excited for this one. So we'll do this first layer, come back, chase it with a second, and then we'll get to the next speaker. We're back for the second coat. Doesn't take a ton of material to get good coverage on this thing, so just kind of go a little bit, maybe a little bit heavier than that first coat, but not much. And this takes a while to dry. This is going to be an overnight, so we'll get back to it in the morning. I'm excited to see how this looks when it's all ready. Paint job's done. I think this looks fantastic. I am very, very pleased with how this paint job turned out. So our next step is this is going to float above. So you notice there's some holes here. That's going to sit on these rods that are in here. So I'm going to bond these in place with some epoxy. I'm not going to glue this onto the top, so you can take it off and access the driver under here if you need to. So let's mix some epoxy up. I'll put some in the holes. We'll glue these metal rods in place so they're not wobbly, and we'll take it to that point. When we mount the driver, the concrete does not take screws well, so I like to put these inserts in, and we'll just tap them so they're flush. Nice and flush, and we'll put the gasket on top of that and get ready to mount the driver. Do that on the bottom as well. Tap them into, just want them nice and flush. Just like that. Perfect. The part where we mount the speaker wire to, I'm just gonna put right through these holes. Pull the wire through. I just soldered that straight to the post. And I'm gonna put a dab of CA and I'm just gonna glue that in place. And when that threads out, we're gonna attach the wire. We'll do that to both sides. Clean up a little excess there. And then we'll get our kicker and kick it. And that'll be ready to go. We'll do that to both sides. We'll see you at that point. Time to put the passive radiator in. We're gonna set the gasket there. The radiator's got the counterweight. You can tune this thing. We're gonna put this in like so. Some screws and just carefully put it in, snug it up. And then we'll get to the driver next. Okay, just need to solder this to the speaker terminal here. Make sure we get a good connection. That's nice and solid. Okay, we'll do the other side. Get this thing mounted. Just line up the gasket, stuff the wires down. The driver fits perfectly in place. And we add some screws. We're getting closer to getting to the sound. Can't wait to listen to this. So because the speaker has so much volume, the vase portion of this is like that deep. So it's kind of misleading. So I made this little plant holder, 3D printed it. Just goes in the hole. Now to kind of hold the plant like this upright. And there we go. We're all wired up. I'm powering these speakers with this Fozzy MC101. Let's see how it sounds. I like them. You know, for the size of these speakers, these drivers, these sound really, really good. I'm totally impressed. I love how these turned out. They're minimal, they blend in, and they sound way better than you'd expect from a Decor piece like this. If you want to build your own stealthy vase speakers, the mold files will be available at timberwestdesign.com. You can 3D print your own molds, cast your own cool speakers like this, and have some fun. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, the best speakers don't always look like speakers.